41 brutal business lessons that almost broke me. My name is Pamela Dale. I've been in business for about 10 years, and these are the 41 things that over time have almost made me go back and get a corporate job. Number one, I had to tell myself the truth. There was nothing more devastating than building a business that would then build my life that I hated. I had a digital marketing agency. It wasn't where I wanted to go, and it wasn't how I actually wanted to live my life. Number one is get real with yourself and tell yourself the truth. And maybe first you need to truly find out who you really are and make your decisions from there versus making them based on what everyone else thinks you should be doing. Number two, stop advocating my life to others. What do I mean by that? I outsourced my life and my business to other people, meaning I thought they had all of my answers. I was dead wrong. I have my own answers, and when I went to others looking for their answers, not trusting myself or taking the time to really understand what I needed for myself because I am different, then things started to change. I didn't find myself down roads and have to come back. It's not like you get down the road and you get to jump over, right? No, you've got to come back and go back. And it wasted so much time. Number three, I was the smartest broke person I know. So I didn't realize that I was smart enough to get started. Now, you might be missing some skills like I was. I needed to learn some more marketing skills, but I was smart enough in the thing that I was doing to go out and serve someone. So I've learned about what I call just-in-time learning it on the fly, because all that learning kept me stuck and not making money. Number four, balance is for the circus. The problem is I was trying to balance things that were not even what I needed to do, wanted to do, or were even my job. You and I can't do this alone. We need help, and I had to let go of expectations for how I should live and prioritize what really matters for me. So it's harmony beats the circus act. Number five, it's not better there than here. What do I mean by that? I thought resting, taking care of my health, spending more time with the people I love could just wait until later. I believed that when I got there, X amount of money, 3 more clients, this process, this project done, then I could rest, or then I could go to Pilates. If I don't have the skill to rest now, I won't have it then. I've learned that. It didn't all of a sudden, it just never came. So it's a scarcity mindset that really had me stuck. Number 6, be the boss of myself. What do I mean by this? Override your own damn mind. My unchecked thoughts were running around like a 5-year-old. I needed to take control. So when it's afraid and it's over here, at me, I'm just like, sit down and go to work. Sit down. No, that's not true. Is that true? Think about it. No. Go. Do the thing that I need to do for myself. Number 7, burnout. We all hear about burnout. I thought I was burnt out. I was burnt out like every Friday. But burnout is not caused by working, because I wasn't working. I wasn't producing anything. It was caused by my thinking. So I was thinking about working and thinking about what everyone would say about my working, and I never actually got to work. So then I never got the work done. So then, can you hear where I'm going? Absolutely had to reframe my thoughts to start to protect my energy. Number 8. I'm more powerful than I could ever have imagined. I know, you are too. I really needed to step into who I am and what I really am capable of doing. And I had to understand a concept that I picked up from the life coach school, and that is that there's a circumstance that I then have a thought about, then I have a feeling, then I take an action or don't take an action, and then there's a result. And I didn't realize I was in charge of all of it. How I looked at that circumstance gave me a thought. So time to post on social media. Oh my God, my hair's not right. Makes me feel embarrassed. So I don't take the action, and then I don't get the result I want. And I was this little self-fulfilling prophecy, and boy, oh boy, was I good at it. So I thought, okay, well, what if I changed my thinking around posting on social media, my thinking around that client, my thinking around my husband, for goodness sakes. And you know what? My life started to change. The outside world did not change. Number 9, we'll get the numbers right, It's going to feel awful. I thought that me feeling so much fear, so much anxiety was a sign to stop. I thought that one day this would get easier, so I was just like waiting around for that to happen. I didn't realize that it was going to feel awful. It still feels awful sometimes, and I must just keep going. Ooh, what a relief that is, because the awful left really quickly. But when I didn't do the thing I wanted to do, needed to do, the awful just stuck around and it made it worse. So now I move a lot faster. Number 10, undercharging for my service. I realized over time that my low prices were all about chasing validation. And what do I mean by that? When I go up to somebody and say, it's $997 for a funnel and graphics and copy and ads and tech and everything, I got this lovely little pat on the head that, yes, that's perfect. That's awesome. So I didn't want to upset anyone with these prices, or, I just let them, they'll like me. Like, you don't even know you're doing it. That's the thing. It just sneaks in. And it's this validation that I wanted as a human being by lowering my prices or keeping my prices low. So of course we don't do that anymore. We understand underpricing just drained my passion. I really didn't have a business because I didn't have any profit. People pleasing. Number 11, people pleasing is control in disguise. When my coach said, people pleasers are liars, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because what I was trying to do by saying yes or not saying no, or doing the things that they wanted to do, like not charging more when they wanted 3 more pages, I was trying to control the feelings. I was trying to control how they thought about me. It never worked. It would end up in a little puddle of tears at the end of every project, right? So I needed to learn how to let people be wrong about me. So if I said, no, that's going to be an extra $200 and we're going to put that on at the end of the project, we're not going to stall the project out now, and they get a little bit upset about that, and maybe they start to think differently about me that makes me uncomfortable, right? I've got to let them be wrong about me. I only get one life. You got to live it. I had to live it. This takes us right into number 12. Scope creep. This was and still is so sneaky, and I had no idea at the beginning it started with me. I thought it was the client. How many of you seen a Facebook rant about some client issue and this client is doing this and client's doing that? I didn't post that, but boy, oh boy, did I ever have those thoughts and feelings, and I wouldn't sleep. And I thought, this is crazy. I'm not doing this business for this. Like, this isn't going to work for me, right? So I realized that this was all about learning how to say no and being very, very, very clear, communicating everything through the process so that everyone understood. So I had to learn how to speak up for myself. I had to understand what a boundary was. We'll talk more about those for sure. Number 13 is monthly recurring revenue. Oh my God, did I ever learn the client hustle? And I could never get off the client hustle. I learned client churn, the number of clients that are with you after they're done. Like, it's 100%. 100% of every client that was coming was leaving. And I had to constantly start again. Every single month or after every project, it was next. Thank God I had a coach who's smarter than me that said, Pamela, why don't you get them to join you on your software, or join them on ClickFunnels, or join them on Go High Level, and make it a requirement that they need to be on your affiliate link for them to work with you. And I'm like, that's not going to work. But you know what? Desperation does silly things. It forced me out of my comfort zone, and off I went. And you know what? I'm still getting paid for those from 10 years ago. What? I know. It keeps the wolves away from the door, so to speak, right? And then I was able to make different, better decisions as I was going along in my business. Number 14. Jumping software. Didn't believe my business would work. And I never really even had the right software to start with. I had an invoicing software. I never had a CRM. So every time I started and stopped a business, or started and stopped a brand, because I had like 10, right? I would just ditch the software because, it was yearly renewal time. I'm not going to really, my business isn't going to make any money. So we're just going to leave that for now. And I just left the contacts. Any that I had, I never had any place to put them. Imagine the gold that I left behind each time. Imagine what that would be worth to me today if I just had 100 of them, right? Like, how much do we pay for leads? It was crazy. Number 15, just recently, I understood that I needed to tell a little bit more of my story. I needed to tell a little bit more about me versus I'm really good at building funnels. I'm really good at this. I can do this, but I wasn't telling you why I was doing it. I wasn't telling you what is it that gets me up every day to help you as well. And that vulnerability today is so important. And I need to talk about the things that I was most afraid to talk about, or the things that I thought were just too small to matter. And they're really big. Somebody said to me the other day, why'd you move to Mexico? I have no idea why you moved to Mexico. Did you meet your husband there? What's going on? What's the story? And I'm like, oh, that's kind of boring. She says, no, we want to know. I was like, okay, I'll start talking more and more and more. So there's your sign. Number 16. Great clients aren't mythical creatures. There were any, and if they were hiding in some faraway place, and I had no idea that I was the one that was hiding. What? Remember what I said about the circumstances, the thought, the feeling, the action, the result? No high-paying clients. I don't believe. They're not there. That's my thought. I feel, what's the use? I don't go do the work. Result, no high-paying clients. So it was just like, wow, imagine that. So when I really decided they're there, and it was magic, when it started to happen, I could see them everywhere. You will too. Number 17, not every client was my client. Oh, I used to take everybody. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, was that tough. Because I wasn't sharing online who I really am, right? So you end up with people. I ended up with people that didn't align with my values. And there's nothing worse than having people that you don't align with, because we saddle up. We're in it for 3 months. It's like, oh my gosh. So it's okay to say no to some clients. And that was one of the biggest lessons I ever learned. Number 18, I was not 1 funnel away. I was probably 100 funnels away. And nowhere near ready for one when I started in the funnel world, right? I was building funnels for others. I had to learn how to put the funnel down, stop hiding behind these funnels, and go talk to real people. My next client, your next client, is waiting for a conversation, not a funnel. And especially today, the traditional funnel is DEAD, dead. Number 19, the big red F. Do you remember it in high school? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You failed this assignment. You failed the exam. And that had trained me that it was not okay to fail. I must learn. I must know. I must get it right. I must get the A+. I must get it right perfect the first time. So as a result, I didn't attempt anything because I thought I would get a B-. Never mind the F. I just thought if I don't get an A in this, and I had to learn that there is a different way to live life and be when you're a business owner versus when you are a student or even in a corporate job. The F still matters in a corporate job. But over here, I'll never forget my coach saying to me, you need to fail 25 times a quarter. What? I didn't even know what she's talking about. I'd never heard such nonsense. I was like, what? Then I got it. The only reason I have not achieved the level of success I want is because I have not failed miserably enough. Sit with that one. Number 20. I have to redecide my goals and life often. I'm living out the decision right now that I made last year, the year before, and yesterday. Does that still fit? We are told something's wrong with us when we change. Even our hair, it's going to upset some people. Like, who's got opinions about other people's hair? Well, there's a few, yes or yes. So you have to ask, I have to ask, especially at the end of the year, would I make the same decisions again today? Where I live, my hair, my spouse, my sofa, would I make those decisions again? And you know what? Some of them are a big fat no. And you get to choose again, because if you get to the end of this life and you lived it for someone else, or you were concerned what someone else might think, that's just devastating. Yes or yes. 21, mindset precedes mechanics. I was looking for the next best marketing funnel. Oh, that copywriting. Oh, you put that button text. Oh, funnels need to be pretty. Oh, all of that. The more successful people aren't smarter than you. Maybe it is in the way you think. Success starts with your beliefs. Marketing tactics alone won't save you. You must figure out why you are not doing the thing you say you're going to do. You must figure out why you are doing the thing you said you wouldn't do. And figure that out, and I tell you, the rest of it comes. 22, community is currency. If it's to be, it's up to me. I was a lone ranger. And in this business, it is not possible. Great partnerships, mentors, communities, all of it are the foundation that you stand on to move forward. If you still think you're going to do this alone, especially in 2024, 2025, you can't learn it all fast enough. You're going to drown. 23, boundaries. I thought I wasn't able to set a boundary with a client. I didn't understand what a boundary was. I thought people should just know. They would just do what they were going to do, and then I wouldn't have to stand up and be all about what I needed for myself. These boundaries that people talk about, they're not communicating them. They're all about control, and then their life is in shambles because they think people should know, versus if you do this happens. You do this, we stop working. I had somebody swear, like it was horrendous. And I just got on a call immediately and I said, that's absolutely unacceptable. We are going to stop our calls. No, we were not going to ever do that again. It wasn't let her apologize and, I won't do it again. Okay, let's go. No, never, 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 never. 24 is so powerful, but it could sneak by you. Every yes costs you something. Every yes, even the ones you give yourself. So even when I said, let's have a little cookie, it costs me something. It is so important to make sure that the exchange is worth it. And I don't mean when you say yes to this client, I mean the little yeses, your indulgent behaviors. Those are so important to pay attention. 25 is confidence is a result. I thought that I'll just sit here in the magical space of my office and the confidence would just one day appear. Maybe I could learn it. Maybe I could study it. You cannot study your way into confidence, into something you have never done. Try to read about how to ride a bike. Courage is all I needed to start. And then the confidence came. So I would stand on the fact that I was good at this or I was good at that or I'd done this before. 26. Stop buying socks for your children if you can't buy your own dreams. What? I will never forget standing outside of a hospital. The younger son had the seizure. No, my older son, we were outside and I started to cry. It was so profound for me. I felt so guilty, but I knew it was time. And I said to him, he was 26. And I said to him, and I worded it this way, is it okay with you if I no longer give you money and buy your clothes, etc.? I would like to keep that for myself to move forward for the things that I wanted to do. We both cry. So powerful. My son said, I've been waiting my whole life for you to follow your dream. And that was the biggest lesson I ever learned about trying to still buy people, make people okay, and not making myself okay. 27, pivoting is progress. Everyone pivots. This is kind of like the failure thing, but shifting direction is part of the journey. It is not a failure. Every single person out there that I know that's successful has pivoted 3 times this year if necessary. And it's going to change even more. In the last 18 months, marketing has changed more than it ever has since like the 90s. Of course, we're going to pivot. 28. If I hear one more person try to tell me that selling is, oh my gosh, let's reframe this selling word and selling is still bad. What if selling wasn't bad? What if we didn't need to put all these beautiful, fluffy, pukey words on it? And what if we just understood you are in business? I need to understand I'm in business and selling is what we do because I sold in other businesses. Selling was what we needed to do. I didn't have to sit there and go selling as a service and all of the bullshit that we tell ourselves so we can go and sell. No, we've got to rewrite the narrative. We've maybe just stop watching TV and movies that make you think that selling is bad. Think about any movie. The salesperson is the villain. The rich one is the villain. Where do you think you've picked this up? Why do you think you want to reframe it? It's because you don't want to be that person. Well, what if that is wrong? What if selling is okay, but that is wrong? What if somebody's got a narrative that tells us how... Think about it. You must sell. You must sell. You must get good at selling. You must love selling. If you don't, get out of business. 29, talk to your clients, not to other business owners. What? Don't ask other business owners. This is what I did. And you're going to get 43 opinions. No, I would never open that email. No, my God, that funnel is not going to work. Go ask the client. The client holds all of the insights that I need to build my business. And when I got over that, I remember notebooks after notebook after notebook full of me talking to clients. Tell me, and I would every year at least, I go and I talk to them. What are you struggling with right now? Because what I struggled with in my business last year is different than what I'm struggling with my business this year. Yes or yes? So let's go talk to people. Don't talk to your friends, for Lord's sakes. 30. Environment. Your environment shapes your success. Right from your dirty, nasty desk to your home, to the people around you, to your television, to every single thing, your phone. You need to be very careful because we've been taught to be nice. And as a result of all of this, we have let too many people and too many things into our world. Yes or yes? It's time to make a change. You're not going to make it in business. I had to get very firm, very quick. Goes back to let people be wrong about you, but the business had to come first because that's going to support myself in my life. Number 31, this whole game is you versus you. There is no real competition. It's inward. You must fix your relationship with yourself first and then use the marketplace, what it's meant to do, give you some more information and guide you. You absolutely must decide right now that your biggest competition is you. You stop you more than ever. So that's enough of that nonsense, right? When I went through that and just, whoa, it's so easy. It was so easy to go look at other people's pages when I'm determining my offers and go, oh my God, she's prettier than me. Oh my God, look at that. Her website's so great. And then off I went. Do you hear what was the enemy? It was my thinking. I don't know, Bob. Big deal. 32. We're rolling right along. I am worthy full fucking. If I hear and have said to myself, my services are worth more, how is anyone ever going to fill that bucket up if it's in someone else's hands? And what if you were willing to try on for size? And this is what happened to me. Somebody said that. I was like, whoa. We get to believe whatever we want to believe. And she had an argument. And I agreed, just because I am born. I am fully worthy. I need to do no more than that. I am evolving humanity simply from being here. So if I come from I am worthy in everything, then I don't need to try to get my worth outside of me through validation, through my pricing. My value is already inside. And what would it mean to you and your business if you made that decision? Because that takes us right to 33. Take radical responsibility. I'm 100% personally responsible for everything. And someone said to me one day, there are only 3 things that you can control: your focus, the content you consume, and the people you surround yourself with. And that means that there isn't anything I'm looking at that's upsetting me. There isn't anybody over here that's bothering me. There isn't anything about the world that I need to know that I don't need. No, I'm responsible for how I feel and what I do at every single moment of the day. And when I decided that, when a client does XYZ, if the client has to change, I'm out of control. I've lost my freedom and independence. No, not on my watch. 34. Stop feeling sorry for myself. Self-pity. Here it is. I set my own schedule. I build my own business. I put my own goals on my plate. I have all of this. The people, my husband, making dinner, I did all of it. I said yes to all of it. So what am I sitting here feeling sorry for myself? Whoa. It's a sneaky little bitch though. Wake up in the morning and go, holy shit. What? It's a long day. What? I put it on the schedule. If it's too much, take it off. Change it next week. Get over it and get back to work. Do what I said I was going to do. 35. The quit. I've quit 100 times. And it's that mic drop moment, right? I got 273 funnels, just full on quit. But here's where I was really stunned the other day. I call it the stop. It's really subtle and it can be a moment in a day. It can be an hour in a day. When you quit the diet, right? But when you stop the diet, you just eat a few extra chips. You don't go to one workout class. That's a stop. And that really killed my momentum. Why? Because it eroded my confidence in myself. Whoa. Can you hear the theme? It's just coming back to me. It's just fully landing on my own little shoulders. The training runs deep. Number 36. Oh my God, the school and the corporate training is so deep. I didn't even realize some of the things I do and why I do them. And the biggest is in hourly pricing. The other is there's a hierarchy. This person gives you the permission to do this and don't take too many risks because that's going to upset your manager. Like, can you just start to think of every problem that you have in your business? Can you trace it back to school or your corporate training? Only about 100% of it. Pay attention. Check it out. Does it still work for you? That's it. Yes or no? 37. There's a sayer and a hearer. I say something inside my head and somebody's listening to it. Do you notice that? There are 2 people inside of me. Well, what if I could distinguish between them? I had to learn that the one who's doing all the nitter-nattering and the one who's listening, I had some control over both. I could tell this one to settle down and I could get this one to go, it's going to be okay. Because the hearer, the one in here that is the brighter one, is where my real power lies. What if it's all within me? That changed the game. So who's talking? The voice that's disguised as useful and the one that needs to be your best friend, those need to be reconciled. Number 38, Disney has done us dirty. Life isn't a fairy tale. Happiness isn't constant. Life is 50-50. Half fun, half sucks, half up, half down, half dark, half light. We think Prince Charming's coming as women. We think there's a happily ever after. We think if we don't feel happy all the time, there's something wrong. So it's almost like I'm sad that I don't feel happy all the time. Can you see how you compound the damn thing? What if it's just, do you really want to be happy at a funeral? Do you really want to be happy about some things that are happening in the world? Absolutamente no, right? Like we just don't. So if we just accept that good and bad are right there all the time and then stop feeling bad about the not feeling good all the time, wouldn't that just make everything better? And the way that I think, the way that I feel, 50-50. So I can stop judging myself for being tired or having a hard day or all of the things and just let it flow and get back to it. Number 39, the time has come to be ungrateful. Gratitude, absolutely, fundamentally, one of the most profound principles I've ever had in my life. But what the problem is then we sit in it and don't pursue the next thing because we somehow think that this means I'm not grateful. Well, what if you can be grateful and unsatisfied at the same time? What if you could love that you've got water and I've got trees and I've got heat and I've got an air conditioner and I've got food, but yet I want to move into the next space, the next piece for me. I can do both. The gratitude, check in with that. What is the story that you're telling yourself? I was telling myself, oh, that's greedy. You don't really need that. There are other people out there. Well, here's the thing. Just because I become wealthy doesn't mean someone else doesn't. Think about Oprah. The money that Oprah made, it didn't take from anyone, but how much extra did she make for everyone else? She contributed so much more to the world as a result of her going and getting money. It didn't take from anyone. So I had to start to adjust my beliefs and try those on for size. That's one I picked right up. Number 40, why oh why? This is going to feel so painful. Remember, you're going to be challenged. You're going to have to fail. All of this. Why would I put myself through this? Why would I put this whole thing, my whole life on the line to go and pursue these goals when I know that I'm a little fear ball and my little brain is going to kick in and it's going to go, nope. And that's what happens when let's go do that new thing. Whoa, no, let me perfect it over here first. And my brain is just going, hey, we're trying to keep you safe, slow down. But the truth is that I am safe. I'm not going to go hungry. It's not like in the cave days where I had to have enough strength to go get a mammoth or whatever, right? I'm good. I just walk down to the store. In fact, I can just Uber eat it, right? I don't have any of those safety, security issues that we used to have. So then the brain just kicks in anything that's unfamiliar. So I need to have something bigger than me that's going to pull me past it. Absolutely. And it needs to be so big. So my why at first was, let's get the rent paid. And then, okay, the rent's paid. Okay, let's move to Mexico. Okay, well, now what? The money just sits in the bank. What's next? How do I keep moving? And it's what I've adopted is I want to become the person who makes $10 million. I want to become her because I know she is who I really am here to be. And that money, to become that successful in my thinking and in what I do, to have the world bring that value back to me. So I put the value out and the value comes back. If I can build capacity to that limit, that's so exciting to me. And I'm going to help others do the same thing, like teach them to build this capacity. So it's so powerful. And then number 41 is actually the most delicious. It's the biggest key. Do the thing I said I was going to do. I put it on the calendar and I don't do it. I say I'm going to stop doing this and I don't. The biggest factor in my success today is to actually do the thing I said I was going to do for myself, not for anyone else, because it helps build my confidence. I can trust myself. I had to make a big decision yesterday financially, and I knew it was the right decision almost immediately. It's not perfect yet because I said to my husband, of course, my fear was, am I going to actually follow through? He says, of course you will, right? Great environment. I've got someone who's really supportive. And my brain kicked in. So I had community to help me, and I'm going to put it on the calendar. In fact, all of it's on the calendar, and I'm going to do what I said I was going to do as it dings on my calendar. And that's the key to success. Now, if you've got things on your calendar that you'll find over time were the wrong things or didn't need to be there, you got to go back to what I said for number one. What did I say for number one? Make sure you're living the life that you want and building the business that you want. See you again really soon. Which one is your favorite? Which one resonates the most with you? See you on this road.